when you come in and you say, oh, you know, these are men, you know, competing against women. You're assuming that the women are weak and just can't do anything except be here. Have you seen female athletes? They know what they're doing. So I'm not sure what's going on or why this is an issue.
If I was to be able to speak directly to trans people, I would tell them that the parts of us that they are attacking are the best parts of us, and that it's what makes us special and is magic, and hopefully they can see that. And if the folks who maybe don't see me as a woman, which is such a shame, but I just hope that they can find a trans person who they can connect with, to see that we are not monsters, that we're not trying to hurt anyone, and that we're really just doing our best, the same as everyone else.
All these statements from Dylan Mulvaney would have been fine if transgender people were simply minding their own business. To be honest, 20 years ago, most people didn't even know what a transgender person was. But slowly over time, they particularly keep on doing half the population wrong. They keep on invading spaces like sports or public restrooms, or even going as far as wanting to transition children. How under 18-year-olds have been allowed to take hormones or go and have life-altering surgery is why this community has become so politicized. Transgender inclusion has led to biological women losing opportunities when it comes to sports. It's such a common sense issue because there's obviously a biological advantage. Even CNN can't deny it. Watch this clip.
I think these numbers are really illuminating on this topic because I just think there's such a clear trend among the American public. So transgender female athletes in women's sports, only 18% of the country says that they should be, in fact, allowed to participate in women's sports. Compare this to the opposition. I mean, my goodness gracious, 79%. You rarely get 79% of the country to agree on anything, but they do, in fact, agree on the idea of opposing transgender female athletes in women's sports.
As you watched in the clip, most people are against transgender women being in women's sports. It really goes to show how out of touch the view has become when it comes to these sort of issues. It's so wildly unpopular that even Gavin Newsom knows this.
Would you say no men in female sports?
Well, I think it's an issue of fairness. I completely agree with you on that.
The governor of California, who signed one of the most radical trans laws in the whole nation, even he knows that this is wildly unpopular and very much unfair. So because he's running for the 2028 election, he knows he has to be sort of going with the popular view.
So take a look here. Okay, transgendered female athletes, and amongst those Americans who oppose them in women's sports. Back in 2021, it was 62%. A majority, but, you know, not anywhere close to a ginormous majority, right? A clear majority, but not a ginormous majority. But then again, you look here in 2025, you see it at 79%. So it's not just that the majority of Americans are opposed to transgender female athletes in women's sports. It's that the opposition has become considerably larger in just the last 4 years.
You'll notice is there's a lot of discussion about transgender women being in women's sports, but you'll never hear the reverse. You'll never hear about transgender men being in men's sports because there obviously isn't this advantage. Now back to Dylan Mulvaney. Now a lot of the reason why people don't like Mulvaney is because Mulvaney comes across as very performative, also not very authentic, almost like some sort of theatre kid. Introduces women to very superficial traits like makeup, clothes, dresses, but does he really understand what it is to be a woman? I don't think so. But in other news, Trump has slashed funding from Maine universities. This is after the governor refused to ban transgender women from women's sports.
I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
Well, we are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't.
And I guess they found out Trump actually went through what he said he was going to do. If you don't comply, you're not getting any funding. So thank you guys for watching my video. Till next time.